So today I'm going to talk about primary care and why I think you should all invest in primary care. And because I'm sitting here in Nigeria, I do focus on the Nigeria market. And I like to start with numbers just because I do think that sometimes we forget or the numbers are just so huge that I do think that they help kind of set the lens of what we're looking at. So Nigeria, we're looking at about 206 million people right now. In 2050, they're estimating 400 million people. We do expect life expectancy to increase. And right now, sub-Saharan Africa is really the only continent that's looking to have rapid population growth. So we know the numbers are there for a great market. And again, I mean, we all are sitting here knowing what the health indicators are and how big the challenge is of primary care in Nigeria. But, looking at the right there, you can see almost all of these main causes of death could be solved in the primary care market. So if you're looking at really having the biggest impact, primary care is where that's going to be. And then here's where I think most people care about. These are the numbers. The estimated private healthcare spend in Nigeria last year was nearly 14 billion USD. And I think the numbers that are really interesting are the amount of medical tourism that is happening outside of Nigeria. People are going to Egypt, to Dubai for medical tourism. And, across just Nigeria, that's a $1 billion market that we're losing each year. Because we don't have the capacity in country to do some of that. So I use my company, EHA Clinics, as a little bit of a case study to talk about the fact that primary care is profitable. Right now, we see a lot of investment coming into Africa in, like these specialty hospitals or in pharmaceuticals. But I do really think that there's a great market for investors to come in and actually invest in primary care. And obviously this is one example, but there's tons of examples of successful primary care companies across Africa. So EHA Clinics, we're still a very young company. We have 4 operating locations in Nigeria right now. We are a membership plan, so we have about 2,000 individual members at the moment. We do focus on COVID-19, which has been a huge profit center for the company. And we're about 130 individuals at the moment. Here's just some pictures to kind of see, again, focusing on quality care. These are things that are very doable across Africa. And the numbers that I think are the most important that people care about. So in 2018, we did an initial investment of $3 million to help ramp up for the COVID response in 2020. We did another $1 million investment. And already in 2020, we saw kind of huge annual revenue. Last year, we did 5.5 million in revenue. And this year, we're expected to do 7.5 million in revenue. So I think just the numbers alone really speak to the opportunity that you have in primary care in Nigeria. We're set to look to expand across the country. That's really what our goal is. And so I think that you can kind of, from that, gauge what the actual revenue could be, as we grow. And I wanted to highlight, also in primary care, there's huge areas of opportunity for international partnerships, which is what people generally come to me to talk about. We have great partnerships with Siemens and Abbott. We also have great partnerships in the pharma industry with Novartis. But then even in other areas like in energy efficiency with power companies, and then with the information technology companies as well, we use a lot of telemedicine support and technology in our primary care. And most of those companies are all based in Europe that provide that support to us. So that's another huge area for international companies to get involved in the primary care sector without necessarily, being a primary healthcare network. So just my kind of key takeaways about why I think you should invest in primary care. Again, Africa is the fastest growing healthcare market based on population growth. I do really emphasize that there is a private healthcare market in Africa that is investment ready. Maybe 10 years ago, this was much more challenging, but I do think that the COVID response and the focus on primary healthcare during the last year and a half has sparked a lot of really mature companies that are investment ready across Africa. And there are multiple areas within the primary care market even that you can invest in outside of just pharmaceuticals and manufacturing. But of course, pharmaceuticals is a great area. There are private primary care and hospitals. I know somebody else is going to talk about medical schools, which is a whole long conversation to talk about the training institutions that we need, and then of course medical devices. So that's my pitch. I hope I sold you on it.